What's up, guys? Dave Van Auken, the Dave Van Auken Show is back. Here we go. Evelyn Martins, how are you, Ev?
Hi, everybody. I'm good. How are you, David? Very
Doing
nice to
great.
meet you.
I know it's so funny because I just checked you out on Instagram a little bit to kind of get some questions. Great follow, by the way, Evelyn_Martin7. And then, of course, at the gym at ATT, I have so many ties to the gym and so many people in that circle. So I'm like, dude, I see your pictures. I'm like, I know everyone. I know all your friends. I know everyone you're hanging out with. So it's great.
Especially Ella.
It's great to finally meet you, talk to you.
Yes.
All right.
So,
Okay. Last year, of course, I would say a pretty tough MMA year. Probably maybe a great for you personally and all of that, but tough for you on the fight side. This year, we're right back into it. Challenger Series, Orlando, Florida, coming up in a couple weeks. How pumped are you to kind of boom, like right off the gates, have something in motion early in 2023?
well, I feel so excited, so happy, to finally be able to go back inside of the cage
Yeah.
and to fight. Like you said, last year as an MMA fighter was a tough year. Got 7 fights canceled in a row, so many things happening at the same time.
Yeah.
But I kept training, kept improving, and I'm just so happy that I finally have the opportunity to fight on February 3rd for the Challenger Series, and a chance to get that contract for the season this year. So I think
Yeah.
it's perfect.
Do you in a weird way, and I know, and probably everyone tells you this, how young you are and 20 and being all that nature, but do you think maybe in a weird way it was a godsend that those fights didn't come through? And now you, I would assume, in the spring of 2023 is probably a different fighter, a way different fighter, just mentally stronger, physical, all that stuff than you were maybe 10 months ago, 15 months ago.
Uh, Probably, I'm only 20, so I'm still growing. That's obviously I'm very young for the sport, but
Right.
I could say yeah that I actually like it because I had a lot of time to improve, to get stronger, maybe get used to it to a new weight class, which is I think it's great. And yeah, I think it was a good time for me to get myself through and try to get better, not only on one thing specific for one fight, but try to get better
Right.
for any situation that happens in every fight. So I think it was good too.
Absolutely. And like I said, especially on your IG, there's a couple great pictures, a couple pictures when you were so young and even in your teenage years. Just seemed like
Yeah.
you have been groomed since you've been 1 years old to now to be a mixed martial artist. Has that always been kind of the plan or the game plan? Were you just built or were you born to be a professional fighter?
Well, I think it runs in the family first of all. It runs in the family. My mom and my dad used to train, and my dad used to compete jiu-jitsu and capoeira train. My uncle, he used to fight. He used to be a professional MMA fighter. I started fighting for real when I was 11 years old. So I've been fighting for a good time, quite a time.
Yeah.
Well, and but I remember when I was to my 12, 13 years old when I watched my first MMA fight ever, women's fight. I was like, I like this. This is what I wanted to do. Because my background is striking, obviously. I started in Muay Thai, kickboxing, fighting. But then when I saw MMA and then I saw that I had the opportunity to put jiu-jitsu together because it's another sport that I love so much, I was like, I need to do this.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
so I decided, and then here I am today fighting for the PFL contract.
That's awesome. There's so much more PFL want to say. You mentioned watching the fight. Do you remember that first fight? Do you remember what fight it was? You're like, oh my goodness, I'm doing this for the rest of my
Yes.
life.
Yes, it was Ronda Rousey versus Misha Tate on a UFC
Okay.
very long time ago in the
Yeah.
very beginning. So I was
Yeah.
like, this is cool. I wanted to do this. I wanted to try this. But then I was like, I'm too young. I cannot do it. So I just started training MMA when I was 13, and I kept fighting kickboxing, Muay Thai. Then I moved to the United States, did a bunch of grappling matches, bunch of grappling fights. Then when I turned 18, I went straight to pro, and yeah, life is good. We turn around,
Yeah.
turn around, turn around, and here I am today.
That's awesome. That's all. They are. I know the PFL is so excited about you. I know fans are. I know, of course, the gym is. Should be a really, really big for yourself. Let's talk about kind of the gym, if not the greatest gym on this planet, but they have great ties, really, really close, strong ties to the PFL. How beneficial for you to kind of have that? PFL and ATTM has a great handshake, and how is that to be kind of the next one to be a part of that?
I would say it's a great thing. It feels like we're all just one big family, to have amazing fighters from ATT. There are champions who trains at ATT and fights for the PFL. I believe it's one big family and one good vibe, and
Right.
I think it's amazing, if we get to experience the fighters training, the fighters fighting for the PFL. So we are one big family, like say in this way,
That's awesome. That's awesome. So I did hear you kind of say, and I talked to someone too who is a female featherweight. They assume they like it hasn't even been defined. Announced that they will have a tournament. They will have the playoffs and kind of fighting for $1 million. Is that everything you've been hearing? Is that they will have a 145 million
Yes,
dollar champion?
yes. So basically right now I believe they're 145 pounds this year. So they're starting off with the Challenger Series and probably one of the girls, which I hope will get the contract to go straight to the season for 145 pounds, and get the belt and be a millionaire.
And,
So I
and
believe that's how it's gonna be.
And do you like their tournament style? Do you like how it's very, within 5 months, 6 months, they can you can get 3, 4, 5 fights and literally kind of be in the first round and then be fighting for $1 million very quickly. The tournament, the season happens fast.
Yes, well, I like it. I like it very much. I think it's something to keep the athletes active. All it happens at once, but for me, that is being a little bit time off. 1 year is something without fighting. I think I'm just hungry to fight. So for me, it doesn't matter how many fights I'm gonna have to do this year to get the belt. I would just say I'm ready for it. And yes, that's pretty much it. But I do like it, the style, and then it can be a big year for me, and then
Yeah.
I believe it's gonna be good. Yes.
Absolutely. All right, guys, we're talking with Evelyn Martins, 2-0, 20 years young, crazy. All right. So two last things and a fun little 5 questions at the end. One is, so your opponent, I'm a Florida guy, so I saw your opponent twice last year on the Challenger Series in Orlando. What do you think about how she's fought for the Challenger Series before? It's kind of done that process. Do you think she has a slight advantage that she's done that before? Or when it gets into the cage door, when that cage locks, it's a whole new season, a whole new game?
Well, people are asking me about her, and then I could say that she's, background and pro wrestler. She has good hands. She fought one of the girls I was supposed to fight actually,
Right,
and
right.
by the time I was off with no fighting, I was actually watching all of them. So I got the opportunity to watch them through the year. Um, I believe once the door is locked, so many things can happen, and I believe I'm just gonna be ready for anything. And she's a tough girl. She's 2-0, but so am I.
Yeah.
We're gonna get there, and then we're gonna throw some punches at each other and see who's better that night. And that's how it's gonna be.
I love it. I love it. It's so simple. Coming from you, it's so simple. Hey, you're gonna do
Yeah.
a little grapple and a little punch. We'll see what happens. I love it.
Yes, yes. There's nothing much to say. I
Yeah,
just
yeah,
when people ask me that, I was like, you just need to watch me. Once you watch me, you're gonna see it. So
absolutely. Talking about much to say, a crazy announcement around 5 days ago, maybe a week ago, with Jake Paul signing with the PFL. With you kind of trying to fight for the Challenger Series and then fight for the PFL. I would just love your take on it. What was the first thing that came to your head? Do you love it? Do you not like it? What's your first take on Jake Paul being a part of the PFL?
I got really happy. I'm not gonna lie. I got really
Yeah,
happy. I think this is great. He's the type of guy that he wants the fighters to have a better living, to get paid better. So I do believe this is gonna be great for the event. Because wherever he goes, he brings with him a lot of eyes. A lot of people like to watch him. A lot of people hate him, but it is what it is. This is the world we live. Nobody loves all the fighters. No,
right.
there's always some people who hates it, but it is what it is. He's here to make some history. I'm just happy. I think it's gonna be great to have him on the show, and then on some of the cars this year. And I honestly got really happy about it. So
Very cool. Good to hear. Good to hear. Okay, here's 5 female fighters. The first thing comes to your head. Could be one word, could be a sentence, could be a story, whatever you want. First thing that comes to your head. You ready?
yes, that's
First one, Kayla Harrison.
um legacy, great history.
Okay. Valentina Shevchenko.
Very technical striker.
Jillian the Savage Robertson.
I fought her.
Huh?
That's funny. I fought her on a grappling match once. She's
Right.
good. She's good, but you know.
Okay. Okay. Michelle Montague.
Michelle, I trained with her. She's an amazing person, an amazing fighter too. I'm cheering for her so much too.
Yeah, it's wild that you guys are on the same card. That's got to be
Yes,
really cool.
yes, it is really cool.
Last one. Most people think the greatest female fighter ever, Amanda Nunes.
Ooh, she's amazing. She made her history, also a legacy. People can say whatever they want to say about her, but she have done it. She got the job done all the time. Things happen, but she went back there and be the world champion again. So
Yeah,
she's awesome, amazing,
very cool.
legacy.
Very
There's not much to say. She already proved herself so much. So
Yeah. Like I said, probably unquestionably the greatest female fighter to date. We'll see if someone young, maybe, I don't know, maybe a 20-year-old, that American top team, maybe one day, you never know, could be
maybe one
the
day
new
for
GOAT.
sure.
Awesome,
Maybe
Evelyn.
one
Thank you
day.
so much for your time. We'll be rooting for you. I will be there live in Orlando. Cannot wait. February 3rd, the Challenger Series. Best of skill to you. I'll talk to you soon. All right.
Thank you, David. Yes. Bye.
Later.